Hey guys, it's Shannon and John from That DIY Couple.
And today we're talking about how much we love Disney.
Oh, the boys are in their Marvel outfits. Also owned by Disney.
Also owned by Disney. So we want to do just a quick video talking about our mutual love for Disney, which is mostly my individual love of Disney. So I super love Disney, the Disney theme parks. I also love like a lot of Disney media and things like that. But the thing that is most that I have a biggest connection with is Disney theme parks. So I grew up, as you might know, in Florida, and I used to go to Disney World, which is in Orlando. I grew up in Tampa, so it's like an hour-and-a-half drive. I used to go to Disney World all the time when I was a kid. I probably went hundreds and hundreds of times. I was super, super privileged to be able to live close to Disney, and also for my family to have the financial means to travel to Disney a lot. We had annual passes, so we would go every summer. We'd make like a day trip of it. We'd go to Magic Kingdom, Epcot, whatever it was. And so some of my earliest memories of life are from being at Disney. I actually was born in California, and when I was really young, I used to go to Disneyland in Anaheim. And some of my earliest memories, pictures are there. Actually, it's funny, there's a picture of me at Disneyland around the same time that you were at Disneyland when we were both like 2 or 3 years old.
Yeah.
So,
and we have a little clip of that in the engagement video that you did of us.
Yeah. So the, something for, it's hard to describe my relationship with Disney World because it's a very personal one. It's one that is not necessarily translatable to other people. But for me, my association with Disney is something that Disney does super, super well, and maybe is obvious to you if you've ever gone to Disney World, is to really make you feel as a kid that anything is possible. So Disney, a lot of their theming in their parks is about fantasy stuff. Sometimes it's science fiction stuff. Sometimes it's historical, like Epcot, technology worldwide stuff. But all the time the focus is on your potential, what you can do as a kid. You can go and have a fantastically fun experience or change the world or do all these crazy things. And that, I think, has been maybe criticized a little bit in the millennial generation, which we're a part of, because kids feel like they're really, everything should be handed them on a silver platter, and that they should just like walk into a room and everyone should be so stunned with them. But the flip side of that is that there are a lot of people out there who are not so privileged and who don't have that perspective. And something that we do is volunteer for Big Brothers Big Sisters, as we've talked about a little bit in our previous videos. And for some of the people that we interact with and have mentored, the perspective that you could do anything, like you can travel anywhere, get a great education, work at any job, kind of like the world is your oyster, is not one that is universally present in that class of people, or in that community at least. So to have that message is way more important than I think most people realize, particularly if you come from a privileged environment where that message might be everywhere. If you're not as privileged, to be exposed to that the world is your oyster and the possibilities are endless, is really, really valuable. And Disney is like the number one, in my mind, the number one proponent of that message towards little kids. So for me, going to Disney, even now, it's not about so much like the rides or the like entertainment, which are really fun, but more so about the experience of going and saying like, you know what, like this gives me a lot of enthusiasm about life, a lot of confidence about life. Like I can really do stuff and attack things. And another component for me, and I think a lot of people from my generation, is the nostalgia of it. I have a lot of great memories there with my family. My family didn't really have a ton of traditions for one reason or another. Like we didn't really do anything super special for birthdays or Christmas or Thanksgiving, but the one thing that we did do that was special is that we would go to Disney World. So like on Thanksgiving, my family would go to Disney World and we'd have Thanksgiving dinner at like a Disney World hotel, and that was like really fun. For Christmas, we'd always go to Disney World and we would see the Christmas decorations and all the festivities that they had for Christmas. That was really fun. So a lot of my memories, my best memories with my parents when I was a kid, surround going to Disney and having that experience. And I think the last thing for me is, so we talk about this a lot, like going to Disney now as an adult, we don't have kids, but we're both in our 30s, and so we have perspective on stuff, and we've gone to, for example, Epcot. If you've never gone, part of Epcot is the World Showcase. So there are different kind of pavilions that represent different countries in the world, and kind of like whatever the countries that it seemed as though were relevant in like 1970 essentially. So there's some like notable exceptions because of the Cold War and things like that, but it's very fun to go around and see them. But at the same time, we've been to a lot of those countries ourselves. Like we've traveled to, say, Germany or France or Italy, which are all the pavilions that are in the World Showcase. And obviously going to France is way more of an awesome experience than going to like the French pavilion at Disney World, or at Epcot. But for us, or for me at least, if you want to have that sort of entertainment experience without physically going to a place, Disney World is like the number one thing. And they do that in everything. As far as theme parks go, themed experiences go, if you want to have the cream experience, like the number one most kind of like engineered, thought after, thoughtful, detail-oriented experience, it's going to be Epcot. Some of the details are, it's going to be Disney World in general and Epcot specifically for what I was just talking about. Some of the details in Disney World, and I would say specifically Disneyland, some of the details that are put into their rides or that are put into the theming are really unbelievable. We spent like half of an entire day at Animal Kingdom a few years ago just walking around and looking at the posters that they had put up in some of the themed areas that they had that were supposed to represent Africa or a country in Africa.
Southeast Asia.
In Southeast Asia, there's another thing that just looking at the sort of things that they had put up, the detail. I mean, they'd even gone to the extent where they had made a poster that had a fake Mickey Mouse on it, which is something that you see in other countries where it's like people just trying to create like, counterfeit Disney material. They had reproduced that type of thing and put it on a random wall, like outside of a bathroom in the corner of like a restaurant at Disney. It's just crazy to me.
And there's a really cool restaurant at Animal Kingdom where they have sort of on display the Imagineers' notes who went to India and went to Southeast Asia and all the notes they took about their thought process of what went into creating all the detail at Animal Kingdom. I would say that Animal Kingdom is, I think, my favorite for just amazing high-level like detail. Theming. Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that you can say that are negative about Disney and that do bother me too, like it's crowded, it is like fake and manufactured, and it's usually like really hot when you go to Disney World, and it just like kind of be overwhelming, and it's a commercial, obviously they're trying to sell you stuff and whatever else, but if you can kind of like turn your mind off from that for a little bit and just go like one level deeper and just have the experience of it, it's really fun. And I think it's a really important place for little kids to go to just be exposed to that, particularly kids that might not otherwise have that in their lives, to just say, look, have these experiences, have fun, like absorb it, take it in. You can do incredible things in your life. Have these experiences. That's what Disney means for me. And we've gone like almost every year for a long time. We have like this is a Captain EO shirt. The Captain EO was the Michael Jackson, George Lucas 4D film that they had in the 80s. They brought back after Michael Jackson passed away a few years ago. So we have like the shirts, we got the magic bands, we got the ears. We have like a pin that says for our honeymoon, even though we didn't actually go to Disney for our honeymoon, but we somehow got a pin to say it.
Well, they asked if they were selling everything, and we had recently gotten married.
We had recently gotten married, but we didn't go, whatever. But
one of the things I'm not someone I grew up with a real, love of the movies, as most people do. But I had gone to the parks, once or twice growing up. And I think that when you're over the age of 13, going to the parks can be a little bit like, almost like, so crowded, so commercial, et cetera, et cetera. And so I think that the first couple times that we went to Disney World together, I didn't enjoy it as much as you, but your sort of love of it was very like contagious, and it's you have to have like it's almost like a position of privilege to be able to go there enough to not feel the urgency to do literally everything when you're there, and to be able to just kind of like enjoy almost like being in the moment. And I think that one of the things that I enjoy most about our trips to Disney is that it's a time for us as a couple to sort of walk around and spend a lot of quality time together and talk about our lives and talk about what's possible, and you know, as you might do on any vacation. But I think particularly for you, Disney is like a grounding point where you like to like focus on the bigger picture, and you like to talk about your dreams and your aspirations, which I find really like attractive and compelling and fun.
One of our first videos that we didn't ever put up on this channel, but like we made with the intent of putting up on this channel, was filmed at Disney about a year ago.
Yeah, we were in downtown Disney, and we were talking about our goals for 2018. And we said that we would like to start a YouTube channel. That's like that was like the place that we made the decision to sort of take this next step on our journey as a couple.
We're just getting really excited about our goals for 2018.
Where are we?
We're at Disney, downtown Disney.
Disney Springs.
Disney Springs.
Change the branding. Yeah. So anyways, just a quick video to tell you guys about our love for Disney. We'll probably be going to Disney sometime soon, not immediately soon, but when we go there, we'll do a video about being at Disney and how much fun we have. Maybe we'll be going to Disney in a couple years with our family. That would be super awesome. I mean,
nothing to announce.
Yet to be family.
Nothing to announce on that front, but
right.
Just looking down the future line.
In the future. If you like this video, please let us know. Tell me about your experience with Disney. Have you ever gone to Disney? Do you want to go to Disney? Did you go to Disney when you were a kid like me? I'd love to hear from people that are around like our age or maybe a little bit younger about how you see Disney now that you're an adult. And please hit subscribe if you like these videos. We'll see you at the next one, and thanks so much.
Jumbo.